From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big early morning of Early Mornings LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth check update of 2021. In today's recording, we go over the breaking news about that fourth stimulus recon that is going to a vote in the Senate and becoming law by Christmas, so says Leader Schumer. But can he get it done? I have all the latest details from Capitol Hill and the White House today. We're going to go over the biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. It is called fourth stimulus, and it pays you a lot. We're going to go over all these incredible checks that are in this recon, in this recording. We're going to go over the exciting details of the passage of that recon in the Senate, the changes that will come from the Senate that will add more checks to an existing body of legislation that already has about $15,000 in there as well. But you got bills to pay. You want some money during the holiday season. You want money before Christmas. You want stimulus before Christmas. So what is it? It's available right now. And guess what it's called? It's called third stimulus. I'm going to show you how to get thousands of dollars before Christmas. The average viewer of this channel has gotten $5,000 to $6,000 in their wallet in the last few days. It's coming up in this recording. We turn to the exciting details of student loan debt forgiveness, the offer on the table, this stimulus, the latest on that. We have breaking news about the variant Omicron and great news about how to battle it. And then we have a new show coming to this channel in just a few days. Plus we look back at the excitement that unfolded as a scarf and a cow and a rib eating guy came together. What happened? Because the butter is butter and the coffee is brewing, the bacon's bacon and the toast is toast, and you know where you are. You found the right place. Guess what it's called? It's called Early Mornings LA, and I'm excited for you to join me. And there's the bacon, there's the bread. And how are you? Happy holidays. The big exciting detail starts right here, right now, as a big Early Mornings LA goes, it's underway. And the excitement and breaking news about getting that recon out the door by Christmas is upon us. All of the latest details and the analysis as a big Early Mornings LA starts right now. Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And here we go. Student loan debt forgiveness. There's an offer on the table from the president. Will the Democrats take it? All the latest details on this Early Mornings broadcast. Fifth stimulus. Your benefits are going up January 1, but do you need that letter or not? It's that COLA raise. I have all the latest details. But we're going to turn to these incredible details about that passage of the recon in the Senate by Christmas. OMG. I have the latest details across the board. And direct from Santa Monica this morning, this early morning, we're going to go over the incredible money that is in this recon. Yes, there's a lot of it that's going to pay you the biggest payout you ever seen in the history of this channel. We're going to go over the big money that is in that recon that will pay you at least $15,000, if not more. But you got bills to pay. You want money in your wallet. You want some cash today. You want money before Christmas. Where is it? It's available right now. It's called third stimulus. And I'll show you how viewers have gotten $5,000 to $6,000 across the board. Those details plus the latest details about what's happening with Omicron and the latest details about the financial reserve and its big meeting on December 15th coming up in this recording. But first, I want you to go under this video and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right now. I want you to be part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button. Be part of the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. And with that, let's go into the big details as we look forward as to what's coming in that recon. Biggest payout you ever see in the history of this channel, at least $15,000 of checks. And what do they look like? It looks like money. And I'm going to show you how to get this big sum of money, starting with the first cluster right now. They got it in there, hazard pay, and $4,000 of elder care. The hazard pay is for my essential workers, and the $4,000 for elder care. Wow, $4,000 of care for young children. The CTC, one more year, $3,600 approximately. They got the home repairs if you live in a low-income community. The Pell Grant, wow, $550 checks. The Big money finally for the $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. There you go. Very exciting. The first add-on for this incredible recon comes from here in California, from Maxine Waters. She got it in there, and it is the money for purchases of your first home. She wanted to give you $25,000, but they gave her a little bit less, and this is huge. This is money for the purchase of your first home. How do you get it? It's coming up later in this recording. Stay with me as I explain the incredible details. In cluster number 2, more checks for you, which include home repairs and paid leave. Also in cluster number 2 is universal pre-kindergarten and also the expansion of the household tax credit, which brings us to the third wonderful add-on in this recon, and that comes from Bob Casey. That is the big money for home health care and seniors on disabilities. That is home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. He wanted $250 billion. He got a little bit less. How do you get these sums of money? It's coming up in just a second. The third cluster checks, here we go, is a lot of it. Seniors and free internet. Wow. This is the cluster we call deliciousness. So in this third cluster, they got free school meals for all checks, cheaper prescription medication, immigration reform. They got money for the farmers, free internet, then also the money for the farmers, and also the money for the seniors. The money for the seniors embodies two elements. First, on the House side, they got two provisions, which is the expansion of Medicare in those gap states. And then hearing on the Senate side, they want to add three provisions, which are dental, vision, and lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, which is consistent with what we're looking at when we're talking about a very familiar subject on this channel, MSC, which stands for Multiple IRS Stimulus Check. Back in the month of May, this channel became the #1 place in the United States to advocate for items in this fourth stimulus recon. No less than 5 million of you have made phone calls, and we have delivered the biggest advocacy footprint there is. Back in the month of May, you spoke to 6 senators, and they told thousands of you that they're putting at least one or more IRS stimulus checks in there. But 2 weeks ago, I said to pick up the phone and re-advocate, because guess what? We're now in the Senate, and the legislation is in their court. The ball is in their court, so pick up the phone and advocate. And guess what? Over the last 6 weeks, those 2 weeks, those 6 senators have said they're putting it in there. MSC, one or more IRS stimulus checks. When they talk about eligibility, they say they want to do the same as third stimulus. Single individual, $75,000 or less, got it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, got it. Family of 4, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, they got it as well. It is not a taxable event, and it's offered across the entire United States, and is also offered for adult dependents. So what happened in the last 7 days? Well, you picked up the phone, and Janet to Chuck Schumer's office, Lynn Glenn to Chris Coons' office, Tyrell to Bob Casey's office, Donnie to Ron Wyden's office, and then Debbie to Liz Warren's office. Delivered the 6 statements of advocacy, and we're all told it's going in there. And that's why it's important for you to pick up the phone and advocate. And who are those 6 senators you want to advocate to? Let's look at them right now. You want to advocate to Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer, and tell them why you need it. Remember, do not use the words MSC, because they won't know those words. Those are specific words to this channel. Here's what the chief of staff to the #1 guy in that recon says about the situation. They now have in total between congressional and Senate offices received more advocacy calls from the LA Purple Power than anything else in the United States. Everyone's amazed by the outpouring and touching stories. Now they have a better understanding of what Americans are going through this pandemic. They have heartbreaking stories and the voice of people across the nation and you, LA, as you have become too loud to be ignored. So pick up the phone and advocate by leaving a message or speaking directly to a staff member and saying why you need it. Tell your unique story across the board. Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Meantime, give yourself some time to advocate for your wallet, and that involves third stimulus. In the second half of this video, I'm going to show you how people have been advocating for their wallet in this week and how they are cleaning up. $5,000, $6,000 is the average number that viewers have gotten of hard cold cash this week. You can as well. It's coming up in the second half of this video. We'll be turning back to that incredible fourth stimulus recon that pays you a lot of money, $15,000 a start. The Senate changes, and the vote that's happening, so says Leader Schumer, by Christmas. But can he get it done? Plus, we'll be turning to the breaking details of student loan debt forgiveness, FIS stimulus as well, and we'll be looking at what happened with the new statement about Omicron out of South Africa, plus a new show coming to this channel in just a few days, and a look back to that new show that debuted yesterday, and what's going on with Omicron going forward, those details and more as we go into the second half. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Early Mornings LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now as Early Mornings LA continues in Santa Monica, California. This is new breaking news morning. The recall will pass the House of Representatives and the Senate and become a law by Christmas. So leadership can get it done on the latest details in this breaking report. Senate changing what are they and the programs that are in the recall in there. About $15,000 because we pay out every single history channel. I'll tell you how to get those details. Will you be getting a check before Christmas? Yes. Third viewers will got about $5,000 to $6,000. They show you how to get a check as well. And then student loan debt forgiveness delays on that, plus FIS stimulus delays on that, and total raise. Meantime, we'll be leaving you over to the great details about what happened with that Omicron variant news yesterday, and we'll be happening with the Federal Reserve in just the next few days. Those are great details and more as we go into the second half of this video. But first, I want you to subscribe. Go into this video right now and hit that subscribe button to be part of the incredible family across the board. By hitting that subscribe button to like my video to 2,000 likes, to consider becoming also a member so you know about all the big sums of money across the board that you can get. And that membership link on the video also sign up as LA Alert, which is totally free across the board. And with that, let's go into the breaking news as we start the big afternoon show, the big Early Mornings LA second half show starting right now. Well, this recon has a lot of money in there, a lot of pages. But the great news is that leadership says, we're going to get it done. What has happened in the last 5 days? Let's recap. Because there's a lot that happened overnight. First of all, we started on the month of March, December with me giving a warning that I was worried it was too much for these legislators to get done. They had the defense spending bill, they had 2 debt ceiling limit items to do, and they had the recon. And I think they had something else. I can't even keep track. So guess what? Overnight, they now have had the House finish the defense bill. It is now in the Senate, will be passed by the end of this week. They've had 2 of the debt ceiling limit done in the House. They are both in the Senate. One is actually done, and the other one may get done also by the end of this week, which now signals, wait a second, you've done everything except the recon. That's all that's left to be done. Wow. So Leader Schumer now in a series of statements says he believes that the recon will be law by Christmas. Do I think that's going to happen even with all these items off their table? It's possible, but I don't think it will. Let me tell you why. Because I think that for them to get it done, they would have to work the weekend before Christmas or the weekend after Christmas. Here's an issue. You need 1 day for a Senate floor vote. Then you need 2 days for a Senate vote-a-rama. You need 1 or 2 days for the House, because it has to go back to House after those changes. That's 5 days. He wants his voting to be not this week, not next week, but the week of Christmas. Well, it's a half a day week because it's the week of Christmas. So obviously, so you can't do 5 days of voting in a half day week. It doesn't make any sense. So you would either have to do half of it starting the weekend before, half of it doing the weekend after. In 2020, we saw them work on second stimulus the weekend after Christmas, the 26th, the 27th, the 26th. So I think that is possible. I don't see it getting done by the 24th. That's the first thing. Number two, when we're looking at this recon, there's 3 groups at issue right now, and there's a series of quotes I'm going to go over in a second. They're the Mazie Hirono type group that says, just call the vote because we don't know where people are standing. Then there's the other people say, it may fail. I don't think it will. And then the third group says, we have a problem, and that's January 15th. Let me deal with that, because I agree with that group. That is the Tim Kaine group. He's a senator. He says, you know what? There's several provisions of this recon that repeat from third stimulus, and they're set to expire January 15th. But the way you worked, you don't want to wait to January 14th to vote on this. You want to do this by mid to late December, is what Tim Kaine says. So... And then finally, the last group is the Bernie Liz Warren group. They're not talking. I'll explain to you why they're not talking in just a second. So Leader Schumer says our goal is to pass the legislation before Christmas and get it on the president's table to become a law. Wow. But the Mazie Hirono group faction says, put it to a vote and see where people stand. So says Majority Whip Dick Durbin says, it's speculation until we have a face-to-face vote and we see the reality of a yes or no. Other people are a little worried about it. I'm not. And they are like the Tester, Senator John Tester out of Montana, who says, what happens if it goes down? What if it fails? We walk around and say, we tried. That doesn't really work. And then Tim Kaine says, we must get this done sufficiently in advance of January 15th. All right, let's go over these incredible provisions as a recon, and we're going to start right now. The first 2 provisions are the only 2 provisions that will likely fall out that impact you. And then there's a third provision that may fall out, but everything on the House side is staying in there. The breaking news this morning is that we now see signaling from Chuck and Nancy that they did this well. Nancy's idea was to put a lot of stuff in there and let it see if it sticks. And so far, it looks like everything will go to a final vote in the Senate that passed in the House, unless the Senate parliamentarian rule that took it out. So the first provision that got in there is the paid leave. Wow, there's a lot of money. $1,700 a week if you make $75,000 or more per year. $35,000 annual salary, $800 a week. $15,000 annual salary, $400 a week. How many weeks per year? 4 weeks per year. So yeah, it's $5,000 to $6,000 on the high end. If you don't work but live with someone who does, then when they take off from work to take you to the doctor once a week, then they're going to get you a check for the household. They got the SALT cap in there, which is $72,500 under the recon. It's previously law at $10,000. So those are the 2 provisions which are great, but are in jeopardy of being removed, also with the immigration reform. They got $40 billion of free job training in there, which is big because millions of Americans are quitting their jobs and want better training. Then we got in there a great provision, which is the Medicaid gap fix. There are 12 Republican governor states where they refuse to pay for Obamacare, so the Democrats got a workaround plan in there to provide years of subsidized private insurance to low-income uninsured people in those states. Which brings us to the best provisions, recon, and you know what it is. It's the housing. 6 provisions at $150 billion. The first 3 provisions are weatherizing a home, first-time home purchases, and home repairs. But the next 3 are a repeat of third stimulus. Yes, they are rent, mortgages, and also the home repairs. And boy, they got them in there. So get your pen and paper ready, because guess what? You don't have to wait for fourth stimulus to become a law. You can get this money right today from third stimulus. Third stimulus paid the viewers on average about $45,000. It's paying viewers on average about $5,000 this week. And this money is available right today to get you for your pocketbooks, friends. And I'm going to show you how you get it right now. Let's take a step back, though. In December 2020, I had an early exclusive brief of what was going to be potentially in third stimulus, what was going to be third stimulus. And I showed you on air what it was. I said, I think I can get you $15,000. There's a $1,400 stimulus check in there, but don't focus on the check because it's only $1,400. I can get you $15,000. Then when it became law, I said, do not focus on just the check. I think I can get you $15,000. And you didn't focus on the check. You focused on the other sums of money and you cleaned up. The average view of this channel got about $45,000 at the time from rent, utilities, mortgages, and some more. Now, 2 weeks ago, I saw an issue, which was you need help with your bills being paid. And I also saw an issue that fourth stimulus was not getting done. So I brought third stimulus back in the equation. I said, you know what? I think there's two things I haven't explained. One, if you never got third stimulus, you can get it right today. It did not run out of money. And number two, if you did get third stimulus, you can get another round today. And viewers are shocked. They never had heard about this. And I said, you can get your bills paid today. And boy, have you done. So viewers have gotten on average $5,000 to $6,000 in their hands. Number two, in less than about 3 days. Number three, for multiple sums of money. Number four, even if they got third stimulus earlier this year, they got this money as well. And five, if they never got third stimulus from the channel, they're getting these sums of money. So we have new success stories as well. And this is probably one of the best I think we've had in the last 2 weeks. This has gone on for about 2 weeks, folks. And here is what Judy said overnight. Hey, LALATE, you are definitely Jesus in disguise. Wow. Thanks to your reporting, I got $3,000 for rent from December, January, and February 2022. I love that. That's exactly what I teach. I show you to get money as far into the future as possible. And last year from your channel, I got $3,000 of rent. So I was happy and able to get the Christmas gifts I wanted for my loved ones. That's how we do it. I'm so happy for this. I've been listening to you since March 2020. I told my friends and family about this, and they're getting food and mortgage assistance because they watch your channel. I'm also going to get rent next year. You are the best. Happy holidays. I love you, Judy. Then Sandra says, I got $2,000 for rent and utilities. Love you, LALATE. And right now, I'm on my second round of rent. I got a previous round, just great. She says, LA, thank you again. Love you back, Sandra. Very, very kind. Then we have Lisa, who got one round and then another round, and she also with Amy. We have Tonya, who got the help of Amber, and she got about $5,000-$6,000, just incredible sums of money. We had Thorn Diaz, who is in one of the live chats, got 4 more months of rent. When we talk about the rents, about 4 to 6 months is what viewers are getting right now. There's Deborah. She got 6 more months of rent at $4,000. We had Chef John Meyer, a longtime viewer. He got another $2,500 for SNAP, and he's trying to get the utilities. He says, LA, you are awesome. Love you back, Chef John Meyer. And here come some similar stories. $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 from viewers day in, day out. Lynn Glenn, she got another round. She got money for this earlier this year. I'm never going to stop watching you, says Lynn. Love you back, Lynn. And then here's Robin, says, you're an angel in disguise. Thank you, Robin. She got 3 items before. She got 3 rounds for one utility and 3 rounds for another utility in the same week. How do you do it? It's coming up in the second. And there's Dean Miller. I just got 4 more months of rent. Incredible. Lorica got her wood because that's how she powers her home. And the success stories kept on coming off the board. Madonna got multiple rounds of rent. Let's see some of the incredible other success stories, which were earlier this week, late last week. And they're just incredible. Cheney says, LA, you are God sent. I got about $6,000 from 3 items. Wow, just incredible. And that brings us to one of the best stories across the board, which I want to jump to. We have Melissa Justice, who got $10,000. I mean, just huge. Is Chris. He got $10,000 from this channel earlier this year. And he said, I would have never known about getting another round until I watched you this week. And so he did. He got $5,000 from 2 items. So there you go. Today is your day. So get your pen and paper ready. If you're a member of this channel, get the newsletter out and follow along with the newsletter while watching the recording. But if you're not a member, get a pen and paper ready. We're going to start with this money right now. This is third stimulus. This is money you're going to get today, tomorrow, or the day after. It's a quick turnaround time, 2-3 days. And here we go. When we talk about the rents, it's gone up a lot. It is now $40,000. It was $20,000 to $30,000 about 3 months ago. Let's look at the graphic then. This was the graphic then. Well, what's happened since then is now $40,000. This last week, one viewer got $38,000 for rent. We had another viewer get $138,000 from third stimulus programs. by watching this channel last week. Incredible. So where do you get this money? Here we go. Take notes. 6 places: City Hall, City House Authority; County Hall, County House Authority; State Hall, and State House Authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, rent or mortgage utility assistance because of COVID. There are 3 musts you must do. You must reach out to all 6 places. You must get applications on file everywhere. And you must get multiple rounds. So if you got 1 round earlier this year, get another round today. If you got a round yesterday, reach out to another organization and get a different round today. Do the same thing for mortgage assistance, utilities. Yes. Reach out to all utility companies. If you reached out to 2 and got money, reach out to the 3rd today. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $15,000 because of this channel for utilities. SNAP, get money for food from Department of Agriculture. If you got a 3rd stimulus check, why are you paying for your own food? Get on SNAP. It is very easy. And Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year. Yes, that is $250,000 he's getting over the next 10 years from this channel. Combos. Nisi and Art Sullivan started us with these combos. They got 3 items. I've been telling viewers ever since, get at least 3 items. Here's Mark at 2 items, $32,000. I said, Mark, where's your 3rd item? He got it, brought him to $50,000. He's got more items since then, brought him to $100,000. Then there was Lorraine, who was at 105. Now she's at nearly 120. Which embodies where we are right now. You have learned and applied the information so well. In September, I told you about free holiday gifts. In October, I told you about free holiday meals. I said, get the sums of money right off the bat. And you have done so well. But I want to show you Johnny as the epitome of how you do this. Johnny's a 3-part story. It started with Johnny and 2 other viewers about 3 weeks ago, and they had 0 on Monday. Wednesday, they had 45,000. 3 programs approved, and about 45,000. But Johnny heard my recording. I say don't stop at 1 item approved or 2 or 3, get more. And he did. By the end of the week, he got 7 programs approved. Why do I like part 1 of the story? Because Johnny clearly made 15 phone calls. You're going to get no's. You're going to get 20 to 50% of the no's. But you're also going to get some yeses. And when you get the yeses, you cash some checks. How much money did Johnny get in 5 days? $80,000. $80,000 from 7 yeses and potentially 15 phone calls. There's always someone that jumps in the live chat and said, I called one place. They said they don't have money. I don't know what to do. You're doing exactly the right thing. You got to know. You're going to get no's. You don't stop because you got to know. You have to make about 10, 12, 13 phone calls. Part 2 of Johnny's incredible story followed the following Monday. He reached out to his 2 family members. Hey, I got this $80,000 last week from LALATE. They said, I've heard about him. Where'd you get the money from? He said, 3rd stimulus. They said, Johnny, I've never heard about this in broadcast media. He says they don't cover it. Let me show you. By the end of the week, they went from 0 to $50,000 each and went from non-believers to believers. Now, what's important to understand here is the landscape of what we're looking at. LALATE is now the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America with programming 24/7. But I don't cover all the subject matters, and they don't cover all my subject matters. They'll cover SPACs. I won't cover SPACs. I cover this. Geopolitical news is number 1 for this right now, and they don't cover most of what's covered on this channel. Let's go to the 3rd part of this Johnny story, which came in 2 Sundays ago when I was watching NFL football on a Sunday night. I got a private message from Johnny via Instagram, and he said, you know what? People kept on coming over the house asking what you're doing, and I kept on showing them, and I kept on helping them. And I helped a lot more people by watching the videos with you, your videos with them. And I said, but Johnny, how many people did you help? He said, 32. I said, my goodness, you've helped 32 people get money. How much money have you got to them under 3rd stimulus by watching my videos? He said $850,000. Yeah, $850,000. That is the power of this channel. So right this moment, if you're not a member, go right on this video right now and sign up for that membership link. It's right under the video. Hit that membership link to get the incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system. It features the 6 places you reach out to, the 5 nonprofits not featured in this recording. The keywords you want to say when you reach out to 6 places feature this recording. The important information about treasury and what you should know before making the phone calls, not covered in this recording. It also features the 1 nonprofit that's helping with home repairs, not featured in this recording as well. It's important to get that newsletter and apply the information today. And with that, let's go back into 4 stimulus, which we left off at the housing provision. Yeah, 3 new provisions in that housing, which are incredible, and they are home repairs. If you live in a low-income community, number 1. Then weatherize your home. That's like the window and the glass across the board. whether you are low income or not. And then finally, the first-time home purchases. This will be money given from from the federal government to the seller during the escrow in your name. They got $150 billion of in-home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. They got in there the $550 Pell Grant check for my college students. And then they got in there the $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. Great. But I think the provision has a lot of words they need to change around. I think it violates U.S. trade policies. So that's an example of something I would change before calling the vote. They got $65 per child in there for nutrition when they're not in school. And then we get to perhaps one of the best provisions of the recon, cheaper medication costs. Day one, 20 medications will dramatically sliced and diced and reduced. They are Medicare Part B. Medicare Part D, cancer, arthritis, and diabetes. For example, a dose of insulin will go from $1,000 to $35 out the door. And then the medications grow to $30 by the year 2028. They cannot increase more than the rate of inflation, or there's a penalty provision. Penalty provision? You can't put a penalty provision on the recon. That's what Senator Pat Toomey says, a Democrat. And guess what? I think I agree. That is what the Senate parliamentarian is going to be doing, potentially removing that. Likely removing the immigration reform. She previously ruled it cannot go by recon, and it's still back in there. Then the paid leave, we'll see if she removes that. That's a provision that Joe Manchin says he wants out across the board. Now, you notice this graphic, 15,000? It's wrong. I mean, clearly the recon has about $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 of checks in there for you. Because guess what? I mean, you got this amount of money. You have the third stimulus money in there, which is $45,000. And you have the Senate changes that are going on top of that. I mean, you got a lot of checks. It's clearly more than 50,000. But it's still the biggest payday across the board that you ever see in the history of this channel. The legislators, the senators say, we have a lot of other items to add in there. And those are the same legislators who say they want to give you an MSC. So advocate. And their names are Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Advocate with them today. And now let's go back into the remaining provisions in that fourth stimulus recon. Some that are new and some that are repeats. Well, the new ones are the universal pre-kindergarten got it in there. They got in there the home health care covered benefit. The hearing, that's a check. But returning from third stimulus that they do not want to expire is a child care back end. The child tax credit, front end, $3,600, and the earned income tax credit for my hazard pay workers, back end. We've also already covered the nutrition, the housing, and the Pell Grant. So what are those provisions the senators want to add in there? I'm going to go over those a second in the final 5 minutes of this video. Stay with me for the final 5 minutes and my commentary. But let's take a detour for just a second to that student loan debt forgiveness. This would go by executive order. There's an offer on the table from the president to forgive $10,000 student loan debt. The Democrats should take it. The president already forgave student loan debts for individuals who became disabled, worked in the nonprofit sector and the public sector after graduation. COLA benefits. Yes, your benefits are going up 5.9% January 1. Let's just do that first. Your benefits are going up 5.9% January 1. You do not need that letter. Didn't get the letter? It's never coming. It's just not coming. Your benefits are automatically going up 5.9% January 1. Everyone is 5.9%. Now, in the case of some veterans, they got the lift up this month. That's COLA. A lot of people have been asking me questions about, well, my benefits go up. Does it impact this and impact that? I've seen a lot of fake stuff out there, a lot of false stuff. I don't know all the answers for that, so I'm not going to really cover that on this channel. But let's go to fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus comes right behind that COLA raise and says, COLA doesn't work, so it may have raised you this time, but we're getting rid of it for 2022, replacing with inflation. That means you would get that lift up every year because inflation is 2 or 3%. Also going to lift you up one time to get you caught up. That means 3 lifts in 1 year. They're going to remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty, and love is going to win. A lot of breaking news yesterday about the variant Omicron, and this was surprising news. Omicron surfaced internationally on the week of Thanksgiving, and we thought we were going to have to wait 30 days for data out of South Africa, but the case in the United States helped propel us to get information. And yesterday, the information came in, and it was huge. It came from Pfizer's head, and the Pfizer head said that if you are triple vaccinated, aka 2 vaccinations and a booster shot, you will battle and sustain and battle well against Omicron, just as well as you battle against Delta. Again, triple vaccinated people will do as well against Omicron as they do against Delta. Here's the exact quote from Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla. Although 2 doses of the vaccine may still offer protection against severe cases of Omicron, it's still for preliminary data to see it's still from these preliminary data protection that it's improved with the 3rd dose of a vaccine. So there's a couple of takeaways from that. First, if you're double vaccinated but not booster vaccinated, go get that booster right away. It's totally free. Number 2, if you are boosted, then remember that 4 to 6 month window, get ready for that new one in around March. Because guess what? That's when they're thinking that the Omicron elements that are a little bit stronger than the current booster will be available in the updated booster around March 2022. And there you go. Federal Reserve, this is very important. The Federal Reserve is coming with a series of very important moves, and those moves will happen on December 15th. You have to stay with me because Jay Powell will announce a strategy that is different than potentially we would have been talking about 2 months ago. Why? Because the economic data that came in last Friday was too robust. It showed this economy far stronger than anyone knew. The unemployment number dropping fast, the labor participation number growing quickly and improving quickly. That signals that Jay Powell is likely to do something we would never have thought we were talking about just a few weeks ago. And what is it? First, we believe he's going to talk about quicker tapering. And number 2, that he's going to talk about 2 interest rate spikes in 2022 as early as Q1 and Q2. So this is something you need to watch with me, between me and you, between now and December 15th. And with that, let's go into my final commentaries as we continue in early morning's broadcast. There's a lot going on with Chuck and these dates, and I want to go over all this and focusing, starting right now. You know, who would have known that Nancy could roll out 1, 2, 3 bodies of legislation out of that House in less than 7 days and get Democrats and Republicans to agree upon the stuff? It's just a real testament to how they're able to move things along quickly. Does that make me believe they're going to get this forced stimulus recon into law by Christmas? No, I don't see it happening by December 24th. I do see they can do it the weekend after or the week after, like that Saturday, Sunday, or the week after. Now, caveat, if they do work on this recon the weekend before Christmas, then I think it's possible. But, you know, we have to wait and see. Let's turn then to focusing. I'm so excited about how well you have refocused in this last year. If we look back to fall of 2020, when I moved out of EIDL and I moved into the subject matter, a lot of people had been acclimated the wrong way by other channels and other broadcasters to focus on one item and one item only. When am I getting my second stimulus check? And I said, don't do that, because you're setting yourself up for financial dependency, and you're being dependent upon one event, and when that one event occurs, when there's other checks out there that are more money that you can get right today. It doesn't make any sense. Get the big sums of money. And when 2021 came around and 3rd stimulus rolled out, I said, you're going to get $1,400, but $1,400 or $15,000. It's a big difference. Focus on the $15,000. The $1,400 will come in the mail. And you did. And you did really well. And as 3rd stimulus rolled out, you started getting big sums of money, $45,000. You've seen the recordings. Viewers have gotten big sums of money. When fall came along, I said, holiday gifts, let me show you how to get the holiday gifts now. Holiday meals, get them now, because they'll be gone. You did get them. And then you know how we roll on this channel. We prepare ahead of time. I said, you have bills to be paid, and go get the money. It's just been a great success run the last 7 days of how many viewers have gotten $5,000 to $6,000. And that opening comment from Judy that said, I now have money for my holiday gifts because you are Jesus in disguise, because I went and got this rent, shows you how you listen and you do it really well. I've always told you since last year, there is no stimulus for the car. There's no car stimulus, but I can get you other items. And if I get you those other items, then it'll free up cash in your hand. And you have done that. And that's what Judy said. What I've shown you over the last year is cash is king. The more cash you can get, the better it is and the faster it is. So a lot of cash, a lot of it, and fast. Get as much as quickly as you can. I've also tried to have you refocus in the last 7 days with saying Do not worry what the item is called so long as it's that. Lots of cash and fast. And I think we have done really well. It's important to advocate for an MSC, but you should never say, I only want one item, because that doesn't make any sense. You want as many items. So if you are getting 9, you want to advocate for 11 or 12 or 13. But you never say, I want one, I don't want the 10 others. That doesn't make sense. And you've applied that so well. When we're looking at this 4 stimulus recon, it's going to be the biggest payout you've ever seen in this History Channel. It's going to be a lot of money. And you have proven to yourself what I tried to have you learn a year ago. A year ago, when we were going into third stimulus, I said, get this money in December 2020. So when third stimulus is ready, you will have that skill set. Remember how we talked about it? If you can get this rent and utilities in December 2020, you're going to be with that skill set of how to get it in the spring of spring of 2021. Well, you've been getting this money all year long. You've been applying the information you're learning and going out and getting the money. So when 4 stimulus becomes law, as a viewer of this channel, as a member of this channel, you're going to know how to get this money because you've been focused on how to apply the situation across the board. And that's why I'm so excited for you. You've been really laser focused and continue to be laser focused. Get as much cash in your hand. Free up as many bills as you can so you have that financial independence. Get money into the future as I knock the microphone. Get in money in the future, as Judy did as well. Get the money in the future. If you're watching today and you've gotten the money in the last few days, and you know what I'm about to say, and you got water, electric, and rent, smile at me, because I know right now you're missing a utility in that list. Water, electric, don't you have gas also? Don't you have the telephone? Don't you have the heating oil? Don't you have another electric utility bill? I think you do. So turn to your wife, your partner, your cat, or your dog, your pet llama, or your rat, if it's Sandy, and say, hey, rat, I think I'm missing. I haven't gotten this one bill paid. How dare you call me a rat? Oh, sorry. I wasn't referring you to tell you, call you a spot a rat. And say, I haven't gotten that item. I need to go get that item. Every item makes a difference. Meantime, if you missed it, oh, I hope you haven't. 2 nights ago, we rolled out a new programming block, and boy, has it been the talk of the town. Evenings Out Late on this channel is a new big programming block of 3 hours. And that big programming block on this channel starts at every night at 5 o'clock. Evenings Out Late at 5 o'clock. Brand new breaking news. 6 o'clock is Evening's Countdown. 7 o'clock is our new show, Holidays in Stream Stimulus, which brings our holiday show from noontime into encore into Stream Stimulus. And you're loving it. Talking about holiday food and more around dinner time. Yeah, you're making me hungry, all right. And then we wrap the night with Calcino, now on this channel at 8 o'clock. Boy, what a 3-hour programming block. Calcino reignites Javita Late on this channel, and she is not happy. Will she last this entire series? I do not know. Maybe she quits in episode 3 or 4. But she is really revved up, upset that Sirloin is the patron saint of Casino, and she's not happy with it. Nor is she happy that that he is taking popularity over Blaine 66. Let's take a look back at what Javita Late said in the premiere of Casino when she learned that she has to have equal billing with a cow. He's like, later in the equation, he's, can we just go get rid of him? Maybe he can go work for Devin Nunes. He can be head of CEO of a media company with Devin Nunes. Why is Sirloin back? And why do I always have to open the show? It's an ensemble show. No, I'm the lead. I'm Javita Late. The show resembles my name, LALATE Javita Late. It's not Loin Late. It's not Lane. It's not Blaine Late. It's Javita Late on LA Late. See how it sort of matches? It's not Loin Late or Sir Late. I mean, you're Sir Late. I mean, he's not Sir Late. You're Sir Late. And why would I always have to lead the show? The star doesn't lead the show. I'm not the opening act. Why am I always the opening act in the show? I just think I'm gonna put it in the suggestion box you have outside the door, the one that is next to the advocate to Bernie box. I'm gonna put in there. Put Javita Late last in the show. And so that way, viewers respect my place in this role. If Does she get the respect? Does she get quit? Does she get the axe? Does she quit? And does Sirloin quit before her? Who knows whether I can keep the three divas in one house or one season. But let's see if LALATE survives. Join me next on Morning's Countdown at 7 a.m. And then we go into Morning's LALATE at 9 a.m. We got a big slate of programming live on air at 9 a.m. with Morning's LALATE. So subscribe. Like this video and consider becoming a member. Have a beautiful day. Happy holidays and stay with LA for more.